Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this December 31st version of AM Live on EOA. Your connection to Eastern Oregon, all of our content can be found by going to eoa.network. That takes you to a link tree where you can find our YouTube, Facebook, Roku, all of the places that our content is released. And that's what's unique about us, by the way, is that all of our stuff is simultaneously streamed at all of those locations and then ends up there archived there. So here in just a little bit, we are going to have guys talking to us about Loveland Safe Ride. Sheriff Cody Bowen and Jerry Hopkins will be with us. So, all right.
Morning.
Morning. How are you, man?
Last day of 2024.
Holy smokes. So this
Already
really is
done.
New Year's Eve.
It's done. It's dust in the wind.
Yeah.
Another year.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to writing 24 consistently, and now it's going to...
Yeah, today's the last day you can do that.
All right. Yeah.
That's crazy. Here's some New Year's fun facts. Over 50 tons of trash are left in Times Square on New Year's Eve. That's a lot of garbage. That's the confetti dropped in Times Square, that they drop when they drop the ball.
Yeah.
That's all during the year. People write what wishes for the new year on little pieces of paper, and then they shred them up, and that's what the confetti is.
Huh. Okay.
If you hear plates breaking in Denmark on New Year's, it's considered good luck. It's part of their tradition. They break plates.
Huh.
Yeah, which doesn't, why, yeah, I don't know. Nearly 80% of New Year's resolutions are forgotten by February.
I can believe that.
Yeah, right. The ball that drops in New York is Waterford comes up with a new ball pattern every year. It's made up of 2,688 crystal triangles and has over 32,000 lights. It displays 16 million different color patterns and weighs around 12,000 pounds. That's a big ball.
That is.
It's a really big. I didn't realize it was that big. Other drops around Pennsylvania. Hershey drops a giant kiss to ring in the New Year's. Hershey, Pennsylvania. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, they drop a wrench. Imagine that. And then Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. What do you think they drop in Dillsburg?
A dill pickle.
A pickle, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Maybe we should drop a, what can we drop here in LeGrand instead of a ball? What's LeGrand known for? We could drop a hub of a wheel.
Oh, I was going to say a wagon wheel.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that would be a little more original.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So we are doing the ball drop here tonight. We'll be streaming that. I'm actually emceeing that event for the first time, starting at about 10-ish, and that's at the corner of Depot and Adams Street. So be sure and come down. It looks like, I don't know we'll look at the weather here, whether it's going to be raining tonight or not, but it certainly is going to be mild. So
It's not going to be cold.
yeah, and it's not going to be snowing probably.
Yeah, it's not going to be cold enough to snow.
Yeah, but the stream will start about, quarter till, something like that.
Yep.
So,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Well, hey, you want to do sports?
Let's do it.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Experience the ultimate in relaxation and support with the FlexSteel Z-Cliner. With a variety of customizable positions, zero gravity recline, and a durable performance fabric, the Z-Cliner is your ticket to healthier, well-rested life. Come discover the true power of comfort at Northwest Furniture and Mattress. LHS Girls Wrestling took second place at the Sierra Nevada Classic over the weekend. This was a huge tournament, 75 teams. LeGrand had one individual champion. Paige Allen was first at 145. Lindy Isaacson was second at 120. Maddie Armstrong took third at 190. And Macy Uramp, I'm terrible at saying her name. I've tried this before. Uramp took fourth at 235. EOU men's basketball lost a tough exhibition game last night, 83-69 to Eastern Washington. I hate exhibition games because anytime there's always a big underdog in exhibition games usually, because usually you're playing divisions up, right? And anytime the underdog goes to the home court of, like, say this game yesterday, Eastern Washington, the refs screw them over every game. And they're probably told that, like, hey, we can't let this team be anywhere near us because they're an NAIA team and we're an NCAA team. You know what I mean? Make sure of it. I mean, I think EOU shot 1 free throw in the first half to Eastern Washington's 11. It's like, yeah. So I hate exhibition games. I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's great for the smaller programs to travel, get some money out of it, and all that. But when it comes to the competition, it's like, okay, let's go to Gonzaga and lose our best player for the whole year, like with Max a few years ago. And I'm not a fan of exhibition games. So I've been posting. Yesterday, I posted 3 of my top 4 sporting events that I was at for 2024. The first one was EOU football senior day, and that one's really special to me because I've been with this group of guys since they were in high school, and that was their senior day was just one of those things where it's those kids from the 2019 state championship team at LeGrand, and all of a sudden they're seniors in college. It was crazy, man. The emotions, like, even for me, it was a little bit overwhelming. And then my second one was LHS girls soccer in the semifinals. They beat North Marion 1-0 in overtime to advance to the state championship game. And that's one of the best high school soccer games that I've ever seen, probably the best. And then my third one was back to EOU football, and it was the win over C of I on November 12th, I think, or November 12th, I believe. And it was the first time EOU had beat C of I in football since 2018. So that same group of seniors, it was their first time ever beating C of I in their career, and that was a pretty special night too. Today, I'm going to release a couple of honorable mentions, and then the final game that I was at, and I'm also I have a little contest going on our Facebook page and on Instagram. If you want to enter it, you can try to guess which picture went viral in 2024, and if you do, then I got a little gift card for you. And I'll probably put and these aren't like in any particular order, but I'll probably put the last game of 2024 out like this afternoon sometime, and it's another really good one. I'll have more of the sports schedule for the weekend on Thursday. AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm, off Adams and LeGrand.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Let's take a look outside. It's been pretty mild and cold and rainy this morning. I guess there wasn't much moisture, but my window was frosted a little bit. Let's look at the weather graphic here. Looks like they got a little snow on top. So 35 today is the high, 28 is the low. Not much difference, not much span there. And then it looks like for the next few days, 38, 39, 43, rain. So tonight is supposed to be, doesn't look like there is rain. Am I reading that right?
So, there's rain tomorrow.
No, I'm talking about, but tonight at the square.
Oh, it says variable clouds with snow showers.
Oh, so, okay.
28 degrees.
It'll be below freezing.
Yeah.
So
54% chance of snow tonight.
Wouldn't that'd be kind of fun?
That's night, though. I don't know what time night starts.
Yeah.
Does it start after the sun goes down or what? But only a 5% chance of rain during the day.
Yeah. So, but still, that would be kind of cool.
Should stay dry.
If we had some, 28 degrees is not that cold, and had some big snowflakes in the middle of the New Year's Eve thing.
Be better than rain flakes.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
It doesn't get you wet as fast.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Jerry Hopkins and Sheriff Cody Bowen with us to talk about tonight's events and the Loveland Safe Ride program.
See, Marty signed with College of Idaho.
All righty. We're back with the dudes. What were you saying?
Oh, I was excited for a couple high school softball girls.
Yeah, I did. I went to Carly Strand's signing on Sunday night. She signed with Southern. I didn't get invites to the other two. So yeah, you can talk about it, but I didn't get invites. So.
Marty went to College of Idaho.
Yep.
It was great. And then Carly went to Southern. So just
There's
excited
one
for both of
more
them.
player on the team, Mauser.
Austin.
Austin Mauser's going to the MCC.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And I got that shared to me, but I didn't get an invite to Marty's thing. Maybe they know that I'm not a CVI, but I always would support LeGrand kids. And
There's a lot of purple. I told Walt, I said that's a lot of purple.
Yeah, but I mean when Jetterberg, what's come on, I'm having a brain fart. Jetterberg, his sister's husband got the. I can't think of their name, and I know them very well.
Yep.
Owen. Last name?
Rinker.
There we go. Yeah. When he signed with CVI, I went. And he gave me a CVI hat. It's on my desk.
Nice.
I just cover it up.
Yeah.
Nobody can see it. Yeah, but it's sitting on my desk right now. It's just got 4 other hats on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, glad you guys are here with us. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for having
Jerry,
us.
you have been running the Loveland Safe Ride program for the last many years.
About 25 years.
No,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I know. It's been quite the ride, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's quite the program,
Yeah.
actually. I mean, we've hauled over 150,000 people. We've expanded to Wallowa County this year. It's an amazing program. We get a lot of support from our community. It's, it's going to be another wild, eventful night.
Yeah, and Jerry and Cody, you kind of represent the other bookend, the enforcement. It's like, don't go towards me, the law enforcement side. Go towards the safe ride side.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The smart decision and the consequential decision side by side here.
Well, and Loveland Safe Ride sponsors the show that Cody and I do.
Yeah.
Keeping It Clear with Cody.
Yep.
Brown, so.
Yeah.
But there has been, I mean, the Loveland Safe Ride has been so successful that it has impacted. It's impacted a little bit the.
It has.
I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, it's slowed down business, if you will.
Slowed down, yes.
Which is good though, as everyone knows. I mean, a DUI doesn't affect just the driver.
Right.
You know, so what it done, we're not just talking about saving lives of those individual folks that make that decision to drive after, if they're impaired, but the reoccurring consequences, the cost on the community, the cost on the individual, the cost on the system, and then talk about the lives, Pray to God nobody ever dies in one of these situations, but it happens, and it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that since this program has become widely used across our county, advertised, used, more volunteers, more people helping, more people donating cars, it has tremendously slowed down the DUI rate in Union County. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And we have events where we don't have any DUI. Stock Show, for instance, we had a couple, but weren't related to Stock Show. And back in the day, I mean, it was call after call. When I first started in 2010 as a reserve, riding along with those guys, it was possible intoxicated driver, possible DUI. Just call after call, and you try and race to those cars to try. I remember coming in from Stock Show, the first or second year I was on patrol, and after the rodeo, and if any of you have driven that drive, you know that it is nothing but taillights the whole way going into town. Yeah. And I got a call. I was about at Hot Lake, and there was a call of a drunk driver at B&K headed into town. And I remember having to pass close to 100 cars. I didn't catch up to that car until almost Geckler Lane. So the amount of people that not just that person, that DUI or possibly impaired driver, but me having to drive, passing 100 cars at 100 miles an hour.
Puts you in jeopardy as well.
Yeah, so it puts a lot of people in jeopardy, a lot of risks. But I can tell you that we have seen a significant impact with this program, and it's life-saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, I always think about this, why don't they do this everywhere? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, why doesn't every town have a Loveland Safe Ride? Like, it would save a lot of lives. If you compounded it by just here, for every town in America, how many people do you save? How many DUIs do you save with that? Like, why aren't we doing this everywhere?
Right. Well, I think it takes, to speak for the people that are doing it with Kevin and Jerry and
Yeah.
all the drivers, I mean, it takes a lot of heart to want to do this, a lot of time, a lot of personal time. I mean, I can't speak for it, but I know that the impacts that it's had on them, but that driving force behind them that comes from their heart to want to save people and help people and keep people safe, I mean, that's what it takes. And those people, there's a lot of talk, but there's a lot of far and few between of people that actually pull the trigger and step into it and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And these guys have, for sure.
So let's talk. We talk about this every time because it's important, and that is it's hard for someone to judge whether they've had too much to drink or not, especially if they don't drink very much. You know, I mean, the other day I went to the bowling alley and I had, you know, a couple of cocktails and I wasn't driving, but I was wondering, am I on the, I don't know. So I mean, let's talk about it. How would somebody know? And I mean, and the safe ride part of it is, hey, just make the safe choice. I don't know. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I think the biggest thing is not making that decision while you're in the moment.
Right.
You know, having a plan before you go out, having a plan already pre-made, lined up, so it's not an inconvenience. So you don't risk the chance of, oh, I need to drive, or my car's right over there, I don't want to leave it. You know, figure out that ride to and that ride from before you start drinking and having a good time and thinking, I'm okay.
Right.
I only had a couple, I'm okay. Well, sure, you might only had a couple, and it might not be your fault that the accident happened, but if you're impaired or you're intoxicated when that accident happens, it's your fault.
Yeah, that happened to a guy just recently, like in North Carolina. He was drinking and driving, and he was doing the speed limit in his own lane, everything. The other car swerved into his lane and they hit head on, and he got charged with vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah.
The other driver died. And
Yeah, just that quick.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I think the
though
biggest thing, I can speak for myself, it's planning ahead of time. You know, make that decision that I'm going to have somebody drive before we even go out at night, before we go to the function, before we ever do what we're doing, is make that conscious decision when you're not impaired.
Yeah, because once the alcohol starts flowing, you don't make you might say,
Invincible.
oh, I'm only going to have one. I'm going to drive. I'm fine. But once you get that one in you, you're like, you turn into Superman, and you're like,
Right.
okay, what's three going to matter? Or at least I do.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the being proactive is huge when it comes to being a responsible drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Jerry, you've probably had over 25 years, you've probably had some interesting experiences. Some of them you probably can't share, but you know, I don't know. Do you have any stories that were interesting, that kind of stick out to you, and things that have happened?
You know, there's a couple times, you know, where you get that one person that thinks we're a taxi cab and they want you to take them to Walmart or through McDonald's. I had a guy one time threatened to beat me up because I wouldn't take him through McDonald's. And I pulled over, and he sat on the curb by the old Safeway right across the street from us here. It's like, you know, we're just out there to get people home safe. You know,
Right.
I'm going to be honest. Even if you haven't been drinking and it's raining and it's cold tonight, we're going to give you a ride home. You know, there's no questions asked with us. I mean, we just want to make sure everyone in our community here in Wallowa County are safe.
Yeah.
It's you know, people, oh, I haven't been drinking, but I don't want to walk home. Well, give us a call tonight, 963-5022. You know, it's.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everyone gets home safe. I got 5 drivers going out with me tonight. I'm the 5th driver, but you know.
Just in Union County,
Yeah,
right?
then I got 2 in Wallowa County. You know, the program has really started to take off. Frankie Myers up there has been helping me a lot in Wallowa County, and I got Scooter's taxi service up there that's going to help us out tonight. You know, I get a lot of people that ask the drive, but you know, I want to make sure I surround myself with the right people. You know? Yeah. It's because all it takes is, oh, we're having a party, come on in. Well, my guys don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, the police support that I get, you know, if I dialed 911, I think I'd have every cop in the valley there in a second. I mean,
Yeah.
they're always checking on me. They're all, you know, we communicate through the night, and if they do happen to get someone that pulled over for DUI, they'll call me. I'll give their passengers a ride home, but that better not happen tonight because I want to wake up tomorrow morning and call Cody and say, how many DUIs did we get? 'Cause
Yeah, 0.
That's
That's the goal.
that is always my goal.
Yeah.
That's
Now, the cars are donated by the local. Why don't you give us a shout out? The people that are
we
helping
got
you with
Legacy
vehicles.
Dodge, Legacy Ford, Goss Motor Company, the other guys' auto sales.
Okay.
And we just picked up Main Street Motors in Wallowa County.
Okay.
You know, it's quite a burden for the dealerships, you know, all the events that we're doing. I counted 71 events last night, and I know I'm missing a few. It's became more like a full-time job trying to run this program just because the community keeps on asking us to do more, and we want to do more.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we got set up for our nonprofit this year, you know. 3 or 4 years down the road, I'd actually like to make this my full-time job.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even like he talked, go to other communities and say, hey, you guys need to get this set up in your community, and I'll train their drivers. You know, it's the impact, as Cody was talking stock show. They used to get 13 DUIs a weekend. You know,
Wow.
out there in Union or Elgin, but
It's crazy.
you know, people know our program around here. They'll call my cell phone direct. I mean, it's funny. It's
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah.
You know, I get calls in the middle of the week. Are you guys out driving? And this probably happens 4 or 5 times a week. You know, they always think we're out every night. You know,
You're like, hey, I need a
know,
ride, man. Like,
my
dude,
phone-
it's Tuesday in the middle of.
my phone rang last Saturday night at 2:45. I pick it up because I'm on call for the funeral home too. But yeah, this is Jerry. Well, we're down here at a local establishment, and we need a ride home. Are you out driving tonight? No, you're gonna have to call your local taxi cab. I try to explain to them we're not out every night.
Yeah.
We could be if we ever got big enough and got some grants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's taking care of our people in our community. That what gets me right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you said recently you guys finally jumped through the hoops and you're a nonprofit.
Yes.
People can donate. Mm-hmm. So, and I think you had said Kevin made an announcement. Is that on the Loveland Facebook page?
Loveland Funeral Chapel Facebook page. Yes.
Okay.
I'll get it put on the Safe Ride page, and I'll get it to you guys to put
Okay.
out on your page.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, does Safe Ride have a Facebook page?
yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
It's probably, by the time you figure all the hours, everything, Kevin spends a lot of money. It's probably close to $100,000 a year with, fuel,
Yeah.
everything like that, getting things set up, and we want to do more for our community. That's why we went nonprofit to see if we can get some grants and stuff and donations to help us out.
Yeah. Well, very cool. So, Cody, so the roads the roads the roads that we have, the 2-lane roads to some of the communities like Union, Elgin, those really, they're not safe. I mean, they're dangerous. There's some danger to those roads.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that, because I mean, we're in the area. We don't know that. I mean, we just don't even think about it because that's part of our daily routine.
Yeah.
What makes those roads a little unsafe compared to what other people might experience in the area?
Well, speed is always a factor. You have 2-lane roads with very narrow shoulders. And in the wintertime, of course, those get compounded and impacted by the snow and the ice. We have a lot of wild game, big game, deer and elk. Several of our deputies have hit deer, have hit elk, have hit bear, have hit all kinds of stuff out there on those roads. It's not just the stuff that you can see, the stuff that jumps out at you, but, traveling along at 55, well, I say 55, but nobody goes 55, right?
Right.
If they're going 55, you're irritated behind them, tell them to hurry up. But those cars traveling that speed, side by side, you're less than 3 feet apart. One going this way, one coming this way, and I don't have to tell you that you take your eye off the road for 1 second, especially in some of our busier times when we have the trailer plants when they're getting out of work. I mean, it's a constant stream of folks out there on 203, but our roads themselves, our maintenance crew, our ODOT, I mean, they do a great job of keeping our roads clear for us to the best of their ability and best of their funding. But there's times when those roads are, they can be hellish at times,
Yeah.
just for the safe drivers. The wind, it all plays into it. But our state highways, our local one, we have a great relationship with OSP, and they have troopers that work hand in hand with us, and they try and focus on the interstate and the highways and back us up and on other calls when we need it, and vice versa. Great partnership, so we try and keep them as safe as possible. And my guys don't have a lot of time for traffic control, so we don't. We're usually going from call to call to call. Somebody that's called in and said I need help, or I had a burg or trespass or something going on, so we don't get a lot of time to do traffic. So OSP really helps us out in those areas when it comes to traffic enforcement, especially on our highways.
So, when my kids were young and starting to get their driver's license and stuff, them driving in town didn't bother me near as much as, I'm going to run out to Cove, or I'm going to, because that high speed, I mean, everything that you described. And then if you compact that with night and with drinking, then.
And possible crappy weather.
Right,
There's just a whole bunch.
And you guys almost you did a ride along. Talk about that.
That was a couple years ago. We almost hit a deer. It was like really close. We were on our way out to Hot Lake. Yeah. And it was, we were in that brand new Wagoneer, $80,000 vehicle. Thank God Jerry was driving, because I probably wouldn't have had the reaction time to miss that thing. But we made it. That night was fun though. You talk about like being able to see like a full myriad of what goes on in those rides. It was everything from an arguing couple to one dude that wanted to be on the video, but then when I told him that it was for a show with Cody, he was like, nah. To like some drunk college girls, you know what I mean? It was just, it was very interesting. Yeah, it was fun. It's fun for the drivers. I'm sure they get a kick out of it. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
We didn't have anybody belligerent or
no one
jerks.
puked.
No, nobody puked. Nobody peed. No boobs. I'm sure there have been that. I mean, that's just.
I don't remember, buddy.
Right.
What goes on the rig stays in the rig.
That's funny. Yeah, it was a good night though. We had fun. What did I got with you about 8?
8, and you went like
all the way to
all
the
the
very
way.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you meet some pretty good people though. Most of the people are pretty well behaved, and a lot of
You
them
already knew all of them. Everybody we picked up, you knew, except for the very last, the last 2 girls. You knew everybody else.
no,
You knew the last 2 girls too.
Yeah.
But that's living in the community my whole life. It's
They're frequent flyers.
yeah.
I mean, once you do it once, like you're comfortable with it, like why not? Like I would, if I still drink, I'd be using it all the time. I'd be calling you on a Wednesday night, like, hey, you guys out driving tonight?
Well, I got pretty much my own clientele. That's
Right.
we got a lady that answers the phone tonight, but usually my other drivers are getting the phone calls because I'm already busy. I mean, I'm running around. I'll be running around probably from 6 o'clock tonight until 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I'll have friends call me, hey, will you take me to such and such house? And we'll do that. I'll probably put close to 300-400 miles on tonight. But
That's a good point too. You bring up when you said feel safe.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've jumped in some Ubers and some taxis and stuff, and don't know these people. I can tell you that each one of their drivers is somebody that's lived here most of their life.
Pretty much all of them.
Pretty much all their life. They're responsible people. They're doing it. They're not getting paid, other than a few tips here and there. But they're not getting paid for the time that they're out, that they're away from their family. They're doing it out of the goodness of the heart. Nice, trustworthy people. We've not had, in all the years of doing this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we have not had one complaint against one of Loveland's drivers stating that they were driving erratically, or they made me feel unsafe, or they made me feel uncomfortable, or they were harassing at all. Not one time has anyone ever complained about that, which accolades and kudos to the people that he's picking. Like he mentioned, it's a vetting process of who his drivers are, and they have some really qualified, excellent, outstanding members of this community driving. So.
Yeah.
So Jerry, why do people volunteer to drive? What kind of drives them, do you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are community minded, It's, a lot of these guys work in places where, they see their people out there drinking and driving, they want to take care of these people, take care of our community. I mean, it's, me and Kevin talk a lot about, friendship, and, we can consider this whole town our family. And we want to take care of our family. It's, these guys, they see what a great program it is. And, I probably get 50, 60 people that offer each year to drive for me, and I've been pretty darn lucky, from the Johnny Wagners to the Jake Browns, Frankie Myers and stuff like that. These guys have been with me for a long time. I haven't had to, I've had to add drivers because we're doing more events, but, I can remember, was it 3 years ago, out in Elgin, we had Elgin Stampede going, and some people, we had 4 weddings going, and I think we had like 10 drivers. Well, I took one of the wedding events. It ended early, and I thought my night was done, but you know what? I drove out to Elgin, I started helping my guys, and I was the last one to go home, But, I have other guys that are doing events, and they'll come and say, hey, Jerry, do you need any help at this event? We work as a team.
Yeah.
The perks of driving aren't bad, though. It's not boring. It's extremely entertaining. And B, you get a few dollars in your pocket for, you know what I mean? So the perks that go along with it, too, are pretty good. I mean, on top of, if you're somebody that has a heart for, a servant, lifestyle or whatever, you get the perks along with being able to go out and help people out. It's like, it's a no-brainer.
Well, you remember Jake Brown, you interviewed him in my rig,
Yeah.
and Jake goes, did he really get all those tips? And you said, what was it? Yeah, they were just throwing money at Jerry, yeah. I mean, I've had nights where I made $500. My best night ever was $600.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's and tips.
That's what most people make in a week.
you-
Working a real job.
But, it ain't about the money, it's about getting everyone home safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people know I also work on the removal side for the funeral home. I would much rather pick somebody up on the safe ride side than because, just like our local law enforcement, so I've been on a lot of accident scenes or things like that. It's not pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, we're here to make sure you make it home safe. And if you really want to see me mad, there better not be no DUIs tonight. You guys ride with us.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, talk about the Wallowa program and when that started and how that's formulated and so on and so forth.
Wallowa County, around the first of the year, Kevin purchased the funeral home from Bowman's up there.
Okay.
And at that time, there's a lot of events that go in Wallowa County, beer festivals, 4th of July's, concerts at the lake, and we wanted to get going up there like what we've done here. Frankie done New Year's last year. That was the first New Year's we done up in Wallowa County. He hauled one person.
Okay.
But, we weren't very well known last year up there about our safe ride. As the events gone on through the summer, I mean, the people have just been amazing and very well respectful of me and my guys, and they're very happy. The police departments up there came up to me and talked to me about it. I've probably done, I want to say, at least 20 events up in Wallowa County this year.
Wow.
From the Zach Top concert, which was amazing. But, the people up there, they are so grateful that they have our program up there now, because they go, well, you can almost be up here every weekend during the summer because we have an event going on, but,
Right.
it's the funds and things like that. But we plan on being up there a lot more this year. I'm going to be working with Frankie hand in hand, and we're going to do every event we can.
So when you have like you mentioned weddings earlier, and weddings, they're more of a private event than they are a public event. So do you delineate between those?
Most of that money goes back into our Safe Ride program.
Okay.
They hire one of my guys, might not be under Loveland Safe Ride, but they'll hire my guys to, do a wedding event.
You haul people home.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes. But, a lot of them, we try to do Rocky Mountains, Ducks Unlimited, Oregon Hunting Association, Beer Festival, St. Patrick's Day, when the holiday falls on a Friday or Saturday, Halloween.
Right.
I mean, the list could go on and on and on.
Right, but the point is, if somebody had a private event and they knew people were going to be drinking, they could reach out to you guys and make out some kind of an arrangement or
Yep.
hire you guys to or donate and make that work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, just have to call the funeral home. You know, ask for me, Jerry.
Yeah.
Kevin's kind of a busy man during hunting seasons
Yeah.
and stuff. But just call me, and you know, we can discuss your event. I mean, it's
Yeah.
if we have someone available, which usually it's me, but
Yeah.
you know, we'll take care of you.
Yeah. Well,
I've done a lot of Christmas parties this last month, and
yeah.
you know,
Well, that's good. And I don't think I knew that, so I'm sure other people don't know that either, unless they just happen to stumble on that information. Yeah. And I think that that's a good part. I mean, if you were planning a private event and it had drinking, then it seems like that would be a good thing for you to plan on. I mean, that would be very prudent for the organizers of that party to we should provide a way for people to get home safely.
you know, all the dealerships, donated rigs. I've done most all their Christmas parties, at no charge, because I mean they're bending over backwards.
Right,
we're
yeah.
putting miles on their cars, and
Right.
eventually we get some of these grants. We want to buy a few cars and have them wrapped by Rob and Cat. They just donated a bunch of magnets to me, magnificent people. I love those two.
Yeah.
It's I got Olau County Sheriff's Office. Next time you're up for Chief Joseph, we want to pay for your gas.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. Now, you also mentioned earlier that your drivers could do some training. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, the training is, if I hired Cody tonight, even though I know him, he would go ride an event with me or two, just to see how we interact with the people,
Yeah.
And then first time he'd ride along, the second time I'd ride along with him and sit in the passenger seat and,
Yeah.
just make sure I got the right guy for the job.
Right.
I mean, I don't want someone that's going to be sitting there not talking to the customers. I mean, I change the radio stations probably 60 times a night just to play with the crowd.
He's not joking.
I mean, as soon as somebody jumps in the rig, you can pretty much tell, well, do they want to talk? Or they just want to, or do I need to hand them a little bucket so they can puke? I mean, I always keep an eye on every clientele that I
Right.
have in my rig.
Yeah.
But it's, unfortunately, I've had a few pukers over the years, but we also carry little puke buckets with plastic bags and give them a gift to take home, It's much better than spending the night up at Cody's second place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
but-
in the drunk tank.
Like I said, passing the flyers out, I got to send a guy to pass all the flyers out to the bars today, Hot Lake, post them up down there. There's just a lot of time. Everyone thinks, well, they just put this event together in 5 minutes. Well, trust me, every event, I spend probably anywhere from 8 to 24 hours just, with paperwork, Pam down there making me flyers,
Yeah.
dealing with, all the bars, the event coordinators, everything like that. It takes a lot of time to do this job.
Yeah.
And a lot of heart.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, man, thank you for what you do. Yeah. And appreciate that. And so give us the information one more time. If people, what number do they call?
Okay, so tonight we're not just doing LeGrand and Island City. We are going to be doing Union, Elgin, pretty much Union County tonight.
Good, Benny. There you go.
And the phone number is 963-5022. And I'll have
On
a
the screen right now, too.
It's on the screen, as he says. Just call that number, and a lady from 7 to 3 o'clock in the morning will be answering the phone, and she'll dispatch you out to one of the drivers.
Okay.
What's the general wait time? You know what I mean? Just so we can give people an idea.
Well, at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're probably going to be waiting 10, 15 minutes,
So call 15 minutes before you're ready to go.
Exactly.
I mean, it's that simple.
If you're at the bar, try to be out front, in that 15 minutes, because we're not going to walk inside, because, we're on the run. It's, the drivers, we communicate with each other with the little CB radios to say, hey, you're going to Bud Jackson's, you're going to Benchwarmers, I'm
Yeah.
going to Hot Lake.
Yeah.
It's, especially at closing time, it gets really busy. Please have a little bit of patience, because we want to get everyone home. Don't even think about getting in your car.
Yeah.
That's
Or be proactive and just call 15 or 20 minutes before. It's like, hey,
Yeah, it's
can you schedule it? Like, can you call?
no,
Yeah, you tried that.
no scheduling. I mean, it's first come, first serve. You know, you'll probably see a lot of my rigs parked down there on Adams by the ball drop.
Yeah.
You know,
Or the other thing that we did when I was with you is when we weren't busy, we just go sit in front of the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. Like, you just wait, because like there could be somebody calling from bench warmers, and we're already sitting there. Like, hey, come on, we're
you
here.
know, if one of the bars is closed, sometimes we'll go sit down by Safeway parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, just
Feel like a cop, kind of like.
Oh,
when I went on a ride along with him, I've been on a ride along with both of you guys.
Oh man,
who was a better driver?
his was more exciting.
Dude, we went 25. We got one call the entire time I was with him.
Yeah.
It was like watching paint dry.
It was on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was on a Wednesday at like
It was on a
5:30.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Well,
like-
we'll have to each take one of you guys at the same time on a Friday or Saturday night when we're doing an event.
There we go.
And then you guys can switch off in the middle,
Yeah.
and we'll find out who's more excited.
Yeah. We could show both sides of the coin.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Smart choice and then
I don't
not
want to
so
see the
smart
DUI.
choice.
I don't want to see the other side though. I don't want people to get DUIs.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
want
no, we
people
don't.
to drive drunk.
But, all OSP, LeGrand Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, they are great supporters of ours. I mean, they will call us at times and say, hey, Jerry, I just seen someone walking down Geckler and it's dark. You send someone there to make sure they don't need a ride, I've seen his deputies, his troopers, city, they'll see somebody getting in a rig at Safeway and, hey guys, that's probably not the smart choice. Loveland Safe Ride's right across the street.
Oh, I've seen it. I was at Beer Fest a few years ago, and there was a cop sitting there. I don't remember who it was, and then there was a Loveland Suburban, and literally like people are being like
This
ushered
or this.
over. Yeah, it's like it's pretty simple. Like we know you've been drinking. Like, you're probably better off going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time, you can tell like if somebody's too drunk to drive, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not brain surgery, so it's like encourage your friends too. Like if you have a friend that's drinking, encourage them to use this program. It's a great program.
Yep. Occurs in before and after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not it's not worth the money, the heartache. People die from drinking and driving.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And if people want to donate to this purpose, then if they go to the Loveland Facebook page or the Loveland Safe Ride Facebook page.
That will be set up probably here in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, if they want to donate before the end of the year, they can call down to the funeral home. We can take a credit card over the phone, or they can
Yeah.
drop a check off down there.
Yeah.
And I got to get a little bit smarter, but we want to try to figure out how to get some grants to get some rigs too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I haven't dealt with that stuff.
Right. So if you need a tax donation, if you wanted to make a tax donation today's
Yeah,
the last
one
day.
day.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. Get a hold of the office at Loveland Funeral
Or call
Home.
my cell phone direct. Most of you guys in this county have my cell phone number.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. All righty. Well, hey, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Cody,
having
for
us
being
on
here.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. we
We're very
appreciate
proud
it.
of this program, and we want it to go
a
on for
great program.
decades.
Yeah. Thank you, man. All right, man.
Do it.
Last day of the year.
Happy New Year's, TJ, by the way. On this day, December 31st, 1781, the Bank of North America is the first U.S. bank to open. 1783, the import of African slaves is banned by all of the northern United States. 1907, New Year's Day, 1907, a ball drops at Times Square to signal the new year for the very first time. 1946, U.S. President Harry Truman officially proclaims the end of World War II. 1955, on this day, the General Motors Corporation becomes the first U.S. corporation to make over $1 billion in a year. 1994, on this day, the largest free concert in the world occurs when Rod Stewart performs in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in front of 4 million people. 2020, on this day, the WHO grants the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine emergency authorization, paving the way for worldwide distribution. On this day, the #1 movie in the country, 1990 or 2004, Meet the Fockers. And then the quote of the day comes from Taylor Swift. This is a new year, a new beginning, and things will change. One more time. This is a new year, a new beginning, and things will change. And then, Happy New Year. I mean, yeah. Ball drop tonight, 11:45. We'll start streaming it. But we encourage people to get down there, enjoy it. I mean, this is a time where people can come together and celebrate a new year as a community, and make sure you engage with the Loveland Safe Ride program because it saves lives. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So, at the event, I mean, people will start gathering probably around 11 o'clock. They'll bring burn barrels down there. I know that John J. Howard normally has a little tent, a warming tent, and serves some hot chocolate and stuff. And so it's a great family event. Great thing, you know.
They saw a
Yeah.
scavenger
Do
hunt.
you have the flyer for that, Benny? Can you put it up
Yeah.
real fast? It shows, it's the flyer that I sent you. No, the flyer for New Year's ball drop.
Yeah,
You don't have it?
that's all right.
Okay.
right. So be sure and check that out. And thanks guys a bunch for being here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I mean,
go home and take a nap.
I gotta go back to work actually.
Yeah.
So, it's my long. I'll sleep all day tomorrow
Yeah.
until the Ducks game starts.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Hey, thanks a bunch, you guys. We'll see you soon.